Hello and welcome to yesterday's Airlines, and it's time for another look around one of my 400 scale airline fleets. And this week it's going to be the fleet of Northwest Airlines, or Northwest Orient as it was known for much of its existence. And Northwest, as with all my other major US airlines, is housed over to the right in the United States section of the collection in this tall cabinet, and Northwest appears at the bottom here. Someone's got to be at the bottom. No reflection on them. So, as you can see, moving across to Northwest Airlines takes up 1.5 shelves of this collection, starting at the bottom with the eldest portion, moving through the thermometer scheme here, and up into the 90s with the bowling shoe. So in this video, I plan to take a closer look at the Northwest fleet here. So let's get on with that, shall we? Okay, so starting with the aircraft that are the oldest, you can see that the Northwest colours, even at the early 50s, which the earliest of these models dates from, were pretty much set with this dark blue purpley colour and the red tail. You can tell these are from the 50s incidentally because they've all got the white rooftop, and that was a bit of a thing that US Airlines did as they approached into 1951-52. They all started painting their natural metal tops white. Anyway, looking at the fleet here, we've got, and almost all these models incidentally are Aero Classics, as you're probably not too surprised to hear. We start with a couple of C-54s or DC-4s, one in the earliest scheme and behind it in the scheme that was introduced later in the 50s. Behind that there is a DC-6, and then a Lockheed Super Constellation. And much like National, Northwest's acquisition of Super Connies was a bit strange because they'd been a Douglas customer, or a major Douglas customer. They only had quite a few. You can see here that we also have a Boeing Stratocruiser. Northwest for a long time was one of the only American airlines operating long-range transcontinental routes, but they actually did use Strats also on domestic services, which is a bit strange. And behind that you can see a very early Northwest jet as we rapidly approach the end of the 50s, one of their early DC-8s in the short-lived DC-8 delivery scheme. Now technically they weren't the first jets because Northwest was a fan of the Lockheed Electra, which you can see to the right, but before the jets came the king of the piston airliners, and that here is represented by this DC-7C. But to the right, as I said, Northwest picked up jet prop Lockheed Electras before its DC-8s, and was also a relatively early customer for the Boeing 720, as you can see here. Now, as I said, you can see that the livery became a little bit more boring actually with the jet age. The cheat line was lowered, and that early scheme did not last long, and the DC-8s were repainted, but you can see this is a Gemini model. It doesn't look anywhere near as good as the Aero Classics DC-8, but it's all what we've got in that scheme, unfortunately. And there is also this rather nice Boeing 727-100 here. Moving on, Northwest acquired Boeing 707-320s and wear the scheme very nicely. And here's another 720. They slightly modified the scheme. As you can see at the nose here, you get the triangle no longer wraps around the front of the aircraft. It just goes to this point. Looks very nice. So Northwest kept this scheme going throughout the 60s until 1969, when, as you can see by the DC-1040 there in the background, they adopted a new scheme which seemingly is known as the Thermometer scheme, I assume because of the way the chi line works. And this scheme is the scheme which lasted them up until 1989 with some variations. Now the biggest difference, aside from the change with the bare metal top, is that they actually use Northwest Orient titles. And they had previously used Orient titles in the 60s, but only very small, never like this. So looking at the aircraft that we've got available here, the scheme was applied across the fleet as you'd expect. We've got a 720 and a 707 behind it. Both 727-100s and 200s. And that Series 100 there is actually by Gemini. And obviously, Northwest was one of the airlines that, with its long haul network, could sustain wide bodies, and they acquired DC-1040s. That's either JetX or Dragon, I can't remember, same mold though. And yet again, a JetX or Dragon 747, which looks very nice. Here's another DC-1040, but you can see the shade of red is different. And a 757 also, for which Northwest was an early customer. All wearing the Northwest Orient colours. But around 1985, Northwest dropped the Orient and just decided it was going to be Northwest again. Kept the same scheme, and that lasted into 1989. And you can see here that it is being worn by a variety of the fleet. Northwest was the launch customer for 747-400. It obviously got onto their 757s. Though that aircraft has Rolls-Royce engines, not Pratt's. And it got on to their new fleet of DC-9s, which were acquired in the takeover of Republic Airlines. You can also see here a little Shorts 360, which is by Gemini. Can I get the camera to focus? There we go. As Northwest Airlink came into the being and a variety of regional airlines began flying in Northwest colours. Northwest were also an early customer for Airbuses, and their earliest A320s got into the Thermometer too, albeit with not a natural metal finish. And you can see over in the background, to finish off this portion of the fleet, we have another pair, a 757 and a DC-10, and both of these have the new tail logo, which was introduced in 1989, and so this is kind of a hybrid scheme. They also have the KLM partnership logo behind the titles. Northwest in the 90s became a strong partner of KLM. Now, I briefly mentioned the takeover of Republic Airlines, and through the back end of the 1980s, that meant there were a lot of these hybrid schemes going on where Republic aircraft were repainted in various ways to look a bit like Northwest aircraft, but not completely. Sometimes that meant they were delivered with Republic titles with a Northwest scheme, and sometimes that meant that the Republic scheme was modified, as you can see here, worn by these DC-9s and 757s. 1989 would bring a new livery for Northwest, and it was probably one of the best schemes from the 1990s. Another Landor-inspired scheme, and commonly known as the bowling shoe, with this wonderful new logo on the tail, which is variously, depending on how you look at it, an N with a compass pointing northwest, or a W. It's a fabulous piece of logo work. Okay, and if we look at my bowling shoe fleet, again we've got a variety of regional aircraft. We've got an RJ here, and a Fokker F-27, I think it's probably a Fokker, not a Fairchild, and a Saab 340. I think most of these on this picture here are operated by Mizaba, or Mesaba, I don't know, however you say it. Obviously, Northwest was famous for keeping its DC-9s for a long period of time, and they easily got into the bowling shoe scheme. However, for a period in the 90s, Northwest wasn't entirely comfortable with the bowling shoe in terms of the amount of paint it cost, and so they tried out a few new variations like this one on the DC-9 they never really caught on. Behind the DC-9s, we've got a lovely DC-10. I think this is a Series 30 because Northwest bought most of KLM's Series 30 fleet, and again kept it going for a long time. And behind, again, the DC-9s, but to the right, a Geminijets 747-200. Coming forward a little bit, we've got a beautiful ngmodels 757, and then yet another DC-9 here by Aero Classics, you can tell because the red is darker, and an A319, which is probably the newest aircraft in my Northwest fleet. So we'll finish off with a couple of jumbos, Northwest Cargo by Dragon Wings, and behind that 747-400 by Geminijets. So my Northwest fleet ends here about 2000 roughly. Obviously Northwest would go on to change its livery again in the early 2000s, way before it merged or was taken over by Delta. But yet another airline with a really interesting history, especially the fact that they were able to keep these older aircraft types going so long and so well. Attractive liveries and very recognisable with the red tail. So that's another fleet video over. Hope you've enjoyed that. Like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the website yesterdaysairlines.com. Check out my Instagram and Facebook channels at yesterdairlines. I hope you've enjoyed the video and this quick look through the history of Northwest Airlines. Please keep on checking out for new videos as they pop up, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.